Everything's working. I'm your host, Patrick Marlett, your local game guy with local game co-host Will.
Sup?
Hey man. We keep getting hit with spoilers, and I am not complaining because this recent one is in my favorite trip color,
Did you
Mardu.
click? Did you do the weird start? Oh no, there we go. Never mind. It just
Nah,
started.
yeah,
It
it's
was
weird.
more of a delay than I'm used to. I'm sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. So we're using a new streaming bit of streaming software. So if it starts at odd intervals, that's partially why. I'm sorry. But hopefully you guys caught the beginning of this. Most importantly, Mardu, I love that colored pie. I love that section of the colored pie. When I go for a slice of MTG, it's usually Mardu. Orzhov really is my two favorite colors. So getting to play with a splash of red usually heightens things a little bit, depending on the legendary at the helm. And this one's pretty good. I can't remember the last serious. Well, I mean, this is what we were talking about off camera. Well, where there's so many different approaches to Celes Rune Knight that we wanted to go over a handful of them with you guys out loud. Excuse me. And then ultimately, I think what we'll do is land on a strategy that makes the most sense for us. We were going to build this for bracket 5, so CDH, yes. Aim for the moon, land among the stars. Like she might be B4, but we won't know until we start playtesting her. And obviously, you really won't know unless she fails miserably in a competition repeatedly. But we're gonna try to get her there, get you competition ready with Celes Rune Knight. So the thing is, what did I play before? I had an Anafenza the Foremost list that I really enjoyed. That was stacks, beats, and it could win games, honestly, but at a very slow pace. Whereas Celes, you lay down that board of hate, and then you flicker her, or rather, a creature in and out of your grave. We'll get to the card in a second, and you sort of just build up your board indefinitely, and you can sort of beat your opponents that way. She has a way to close out the game effectively on the spot in two different flavors, and that's what's cool about her. Who doesn't love Mardu? Jorge, I
Apparently
don't.
me, because I could not find a single Mardu deck that I've built that I actually took the time to make a land base for. So I had to grab a land base from somebody else for this deck.
I can't remember the last. Did we do Caesar from Fallout? Who did we do that was Mardu? I mean, the last one I built personally, apart from the channel, I think was
What?
Zergo Helm Smasher. It was like a long time ago. But we've done some Mardu decks on the channel. I just wanted an up-to-date one. So we can go over to where we're going to be building in a second.
Let me look at Mardu commanders in release order and see if there's any that I'm like, oh, we built that.
We've definitely built one or two. God, I hope so. Has it been this?
Kroxa and Kronos, I think, was the most recent one we did. I think we also tried doing Gen, and then we realized the Gen is horrible.
Best commander for competitive 3 bracket. Best commander for
like a bracket 3 competitive, like building a CDH deck with bracket 3 rules.
You would say Celes or Caesar?
For bracket 3, I would probably say that it's probably like Godo. Because Godo's technically an infinite, like a late game infinite, because it's 11 mana.
Right, late game 2 card infinite. Yeah.
But right. Magda is probably still one of the better, like, lower bracket CDH commanders, and Malcolm. Malcolm just needs to find Glinthorn. Magda just does the Magda thing. Brackets don't affect Magda. But Glinthorn is not an infinite combo, so Malcolm is cool with Glinthorn. And I know people are going to be like, Glinthorn goes infinite. Technically, it doesn't.
I like that your last Mardu commander was Megatron. That's actually kind of sick.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Megatron was a...
no, that was George saying Megatron. Yeah, Megatron's good. I remember seeing that, and I'm like, oh, it's Mardu, but it's Neheb, but Mardu.
Mm-hmm. But
Neat.
what about Celes, my guy? You want to break down the girl and we can discuss strategies for her? I am
Yeah.
super, super stoked. Super
I
stoked.
I love this commander because both sides of her text could have made her a viable commander alone, but she has both of them together. So Celes is one a red, a
God.
white, and a black for legendary creature, human wizard knight with 4 power and 4 toughness. When Celes enters the battlefield, discard any number of cards from your hand, then draw that many cards plus 1. Whenever one or more other creatures enter the battlefield under your control, if one or more of them entered from the graveyard or were cast from the graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Oh man, oh man. I don't know. Where do you want to start? Those are some relevant types, by the way, like human, wizard. Those are relevant.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like I'm just pointing out the not so obvious things. I mean, it's not hyper relevant. I don't think we're going to do any sort of tribal things there. But all of these subtypes have effects that you could work with in game. So if you wanted to do a powered down version, there's probably some really cool thematic builds you could do with the Rune Knight. But a 4 for 4/4 that lets you discard any number of cards and draw that many +1, that's pretty good. So think of any. So we'll just take a look at the top trigger first. Obviously, the only thing that could stop this is, say, a Torpor Orb. There are a ton of effects similar to Torpor Orb, specifically on creatures like Tocatli Honor Guard. I always forget the name of the newest one, man. It was from the Fisticuffs one, Obnixilis. Oh shit! It's a flying thrall. Am I making this up? It's a white card that.
are you talking about the card from the recent set, the Aether Drift, or
No,
the?
no, no. I'm talking about the other Torpor Orb effect from. It's the sign is a
Oh,
Knuckle Sammy. It's a
Doorkeeper Thrall. Doorkeeper
Doorkeeper
Thrall.
Thrall. Thank you. It is a Thrall. Yeah,
Yeah,
stuff like that. Stuff like that can stop this. But I gotta say, those effects aren't used too often, not realistically, and probably less so with Dockside Gone. So, like, the real game breaking one that kind of gets away with it is Thassa's Oracle. So, I feel like the top half is safe. But anything that would cause her to enter the battlefield uh, lets you just pull through your entire deck, right? +1 every single time. So, this is if you really look at it, this is card advantage to a certain extent. Like if you have a loop that is running this without you having to play cards, you could just build your hand indefinitely and push into a breach or something. You're probably, if you're doing the thing already, it's probably with breach, but you're gonna fill up your trash supremely. It's effectively like a wheel on yourself too. Like if you need to discard 6 and go up 7, like if your hand is just basura. But the bottom half, I also really enjoy. Obviously, strapping those 1/1 counters on something like a Walking Ballista would just end the game. You don't need to. I don't think you need to jam something like a Walking Ballista to end the game with her. There's a myriad of ways you could do this. But if your end game, if push comes to shove, is that you could just power up your board as it exists and beat face and knock everyone out, that's a valid game plan. Maybe we put some Asked Haste enablers in here. I don't know. I don't even know that we need to. It really depends. Like, but
anger.
you can. You
Just
can.
discard anger. Have fun.
Right, exactly. Anger just requires that we have a mountain, I think, and it be in the grave. So like, anger could just be in there, or you could have frenzy. There's the 1-cost red one that's
Fervor.
similar to Concordant Crossroads.
No, Fervor is the 3-mana one. Mass Hysteria, right?
Mass frenzy. Someone will know it.
I was right. Mass Hysteria.
Is that it? Yeah. All creatures have face, exactly like in Concordant Crossroads, but in red. Okay, so
And not a world enchantment.
I honestly would prefer just anger. I think. I mean, there's plenty of ways to just put that body in the grave in black,
Like your commander.
Like your commander. That's the thing. Like, there's never going to be a trapped card in your hand. As soon as you get the cast on Celes, it lets you fix your hand. So if you mull really aggressively to pull into Celes, whatever you pull into, it's like, oh man, I really wish I hit my land drop to go into this card. you can just dump the other 3 cards and like hopefully get there. Does that make sense? Dump 3, get 4. It's all right. I'm pretty stoked. If it's not apparent, I think that she's very good. I think that she's very, very good. I think we should probably break down all the methods in which you could do these 2 combos or play with these 2 ETBs. And I guess I should say, I mean, they're both technically ETBs. None of these are LTBs.
Yeah, we can break down the different play lines for the deck. So the first version of the deck is using all of the Flicker, Twin Flame, Reanimate effects that you can to keep having Celes re-enter over and over and over again. Discard your hand, Mardu Storm, draw through your deck, find Breach, win the game, or find Abdel or World Gorger, win the game.
Right.
The win cons for those decks are probably just going to be get infinite mana, draw deck, play a couple creatures, repeat the loop to put infinite counters on our things, and then we just go, okay, 20 infinities with haste, swing, game.
Right, and what's nice about this is that, you know, we don't even need to add, like what I was saying with Walking Ballista, you think of like, oh, I get infinite +1/+1s. It's not really necessary, because you could probably just, if you've got the ball rolling on one strategy, you've likely got it working on both ends, so you could just fill up your board and then do the mass haste thing, right? And maybe we do put mass hysteria and both anger in to just give our board the speed it needs. Like if we lost our board or something, we could just dump it back out and beat face, right? You don't need to add in cards that would otherwise be useless or just part of a combo. Not to say Walking Ballista is useless, but you get the idea. Also, couldn't we just win the game by having something like a Orcish Bowmaster re-enter and ping everyone? Like, that's just a value card that exists that will win you the game because you're playing it in Celes. She's kind of dumb. The other thing, I don't. Did you mention Persist? I'm sorry.
Not yet. I was going to get around to that. I was just doing like the Flicker version of the deck first.
Red Cap. Yeah, that's
the second version of the deck is General Mardu Control. You wait until you find either the Leonin Relic Warder loop, Abdel, or World Gorger.
Mm-hmm.
Go infinite there. With Leonin, you're getting infinite +1/+1 counters on all of your creatures. With Abdel and World Gorger, you're drawing through your deck and getting infinite mana. And same gameplay in Mass Hysteria, Anger to win the game. The only difference with this deck is you run less of the Flickers, less of the Twin Flames, and you go for more of just a general value control deck. You might do like Necropotent stuff. You might do whatever. The other forms of the deck use the bottom side of the effect, and there's kind of 2 that I've heard people talk about. One is Persist. If you have any creature that says this enters the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter or Persist, it enters the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it if it didn't have one on it before. So every single time, I need to phrase that better. Whenever this creature dies, it returns to the battlefield with a -1/-1 counter on it, because Celes is going to put a +1/+1 counter on it and everything else. That means that we're going to negate the counter, resack that creature, do it again and again and again, making infinite death triggers for whatever the sack value is, or just making all of our creatures infinitely big. So just doing straight up
Red Cap combos.
Yeah, straight up Persist things, straight up red cap combos, they work. And the other version of the +1 counter deck is Stacks. People have said, like, hey, yeah, you're just discarding a couple Stacks pieces to Celeste's effect, reanimating them, and giving them, like, all +3/+3. I think of a 4/6 Drannith Magistrate punching face probably gets there if you have enough of them.
How do you spell that again?
Drannith Magistrate?
No, Dax. Did you say Dax? Is this a card?
No. Stacks. STACX.
Oh, I heard Dax. I'm like, is this a card? Is this a card I've never heard of?
No.
I know Daxos, but
people have discussed using Celes as a finisher for a Mardu Stacks deck, as you can discard some stuff,
right?
Specifically a couple Stacks pieces, reanimate a couple of them, and then just go, okay, everything has +3/+3, punch game. So we can put that up as a poll. We can do Turbo Flicker, or just Flicker, Control, Persist, or Stacks. whatever the people want, I'm going to throw my vote out verbally. I think the Flicker version is probably going to be the coolest version of the deck because it's just really fast,
So we
and
have
Mardu's the
turbo.
fast color.
Sorry, turbo flicker. Right, because we are in the
Mhm.
ritual colors, right? So we should try to leverage that to our advantage. We also have the color of silence. So let's make sure we let's make sure we land these lines. I have turbo flicker, stacks beats, and I think that's really it, right? I mean,
It's Flicker, uh, stacks, control, and persist. So
persist.
the control version is just doing good Mardu stuff until you find Abdel. That's kind of the idea of the deck.
Persist. Well, I mean, we'll probably run persist. So I have turbo flicker, stacks control, persist combo, which really
Also,
it's just red cap. I think red cap can kind of just go in the body of any Celeste build. I mean, it's just her a sack outlet in the red cap, and it's
I think we go for the Flicker build. I don't know if we want the Red Cat build because I think just doing all of the Flicker stuff is better.
I don't see why you wouldn't put
We'll
red cap.
discuss that as we get there.
Yeah.
Let's set up the poll and let the people may decide.
I'm just doing the two then. So we've got turbo flicker and stacks control beats. Um, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they both have combos in them, but you get the idea. There's
Yeah.
not enough persisters, but having red cap is a one of. So my thing is, it's a one of, but then you also need a sack outlet alongside of it. So is it really a one of if it needs an enabler? Obviously, Celeste can't do everything. Imagine if she had a way of sacrificing things on the card.
That'd be gross. Celeste already does almost everything you would want on the card.
This is such a good legendary. This is such a good legendary. Yeah, it's literally, the card advantage you're looking for. It's encouraging you to build for, obviously, a reanimator here. If one or more creatures entered from the graveyard. So there's other things we can do there. Like if you really want to get cheeky, you could run Gravecrawler lines. There's a bunch of different ways to make creatures enter from the graveyard, the reanimating skeletons, stuff like that. Obviously, we're going to try to go for the easiest ones. I do think that of those lines, the persisters are probably the most direct with a sack outlet, whereas something like you mentioned, Lean into Relic Warder, any animate aura, and or your pre-war formal wear is going to also do the same trick to just give you a infinitely large army. Sans, the creature that's getting flickered. But while we're running this poll, we might as well talk about the kind of cards we would want to employ in both. So if we're doing turbo flicker, what's the general? What are the cards we're trying to throw in there?
All of the probably 2 cost or less flicker effects, mainly just the white ones. So white is all the 2 cost flicker effects. Red is heat shimmer, molten duplication, and twin flame. And black is all of the reanimate effects that are worth playing.
Well, those are even more
Specifically,
than flickers. Those are like the twin flames and stuff. That's a little bit different. I mean, if you want to just add like ephemerates and stuff for value, we actually could as well.
yeah,
Like,
I think for the control version, we're still running ephemerate and probably cloud shift just because they're good.
mm-hmm.
But I think for the fast paced version, we're running everything we can. The storm version, we run everything we can
Mm-hmm.
because if we twin flame, we get a token copy and we keep around that token copy. So every time we reanimate Celes, we can sacrifice Celes to the legend rule to keep reanimating her again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
So all of our reanimation hits are going to give us the Celes trigger. One other thing is if we get Abdel or World Gorger into play, just vanilla, no reanimator, we can flicker that instead, which will get Celeste back, get all of our mana rocks back, and make us mana positive at that point. But yeah, we got options, and we discussed this backup line off stream, Patrick, of just Underworld Breach, Lotus Petal, and Flicker Effect. Good
kind of
enough.
kind of does it. Like she's literally, once you put that flicker effect in the trash, she's essentially like a Wheel of Fortune to that whole play line, except like what Will's saying, you don't need to run the risk of dropping a Lion's Eye Diamond because she is basically the LED. And she's basically the LED with
She's
the
a
Lotus
one mana
Petal
wheel.
and a wheel. Exactly. Yeah. Right. Right. It's the discard of LED, not the mana accrual. Don't get that twisted. But yeah, it's pretty stupid. Electro Duplicate has a flashback cost.
Well, let's look at
I
that.
think it's a little bit costlier. I think it might be 4 mana. Heat Shimmer's 3, Twin Flame is 2,
Electro
and
Duplicate is the it's Heat Shimmer, but it has a flashback for 4, which honestly probably good enough because if we're running Heat Shimmer, we can run this.
I was just gonna let this run for another 30 seconds. It feels like you guys are kind of dead set on one strategy.
I feel like there's one obvious one to go for. Although I love Gev, I feel like Celes has a better line.
I do think that Celes, like, I don't think there's a wrong way you could build this deck. It's just value. It's just value on value, and I'm playing value. So it's like, how do you want to take your value? You could definitely build it slower, and like you were saying, Wolfsbane, we could still add red cap if we wanted to, but to that extent, we could sort of add anything that ETBs and damages opponents. Like I was saying earlier, Ogre's Bowmaster is going to do the same thing, and it would probably go in the deck anyways, right? So it's probably better to just. Normally, when I build for CDH, I try to eliminate any. I don't want to say odd choices, but things that don't necessarily lend themselves well to a typical game of Commander. Like if the card isn't, if it's just there for the combo, you're allowed to have like, I don't know, 2 to 4 cards in your deck that should just be there for the combos. But if cards that would otherwise just go in your deck and are of value and also work in tandem to like close out games, those are the cards I like to include. I guess my Oswald list is kind of like that. It's really live. There's not that many extraneous elements. Like everything that goes in that deck could be used to just murk someone, right? So even something like innocuous, even something like a one. I mean, there were used to be one cost ways of like milling people out and stuff, but
Is there a single card in your Oswald deck that is just purely a combo card? Like everything else is just kind of like a setup to get the One Ring out faster, but is incidentally a combo card. Because like your finishers, you have the Halo Fountain, which is a setup
untap
piece.
engine and yeah, and win
You
the
have
game.
You have Skrelv, which is a win con,
Protection,
but also protection. What's the other way that you have to win?
walking ballista.
Ballista. Ballista is the only one that is considered like purely combo, but even then, like
I don't know. I feel
it's
like
Ballista.
right. Like if all I got is a mana vault, all I got is a mana vault, a manifold key, and a ballista. Like I'll kill some stuff. Like if that's all I can do with my turn, I might as well nuke the board. And like it's just as good in the trash in that list. So
I've had Sasaya moments when I'm like, I'll just drop a Ballista with 15 counters on it. That's good enough.
right, it honestly is sometimes. It's like, yeah, you know what control is? Removing your threats. That's what control is. So long as they aren't enchantments, please don't make them enchantments. Skrelv makes the cut in Oswald. Skrelv, you could use Plankton, yes.
Skrelv makes the cut in Oswald because it's a win con. If you get into a loop where you can untap things infinitely, Skrelv, if you have like 3 creatures in play, Skrelv gives each of them Toxic 1 10 times and evasion from all colors, meaning that all of your creatures in play will give somebody 10 poison counters on contact and will not be able to be blocked.
Right.
So Skrelv is a win con in Oswald, in addition to just being a searchable Mother of Runes.
Right. It is the best form of Mom that you could put in the deck. So that's why we run it. Also, it's not difficult to have the bodies to do the thing. There are boots as well. So if Oswald's on the field, he likely is if you're going off. That's one attacker. Metal Worker might be there. That's another attacker. There's a couple of bodies that will just exist. Like you'll get Esper Sentinel, stuff like that out pretty early. And then obviously you would just Swift boot up and or Lightning Greave up the other ones. I'm just going to mention Ranger Captain of Eos now before I forget.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think on that note, I think we've waited long enough on this poll. I feel like we're pretty confidently going into a turbo flicker
Not even
build.
close.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of stoked. I would run this multiple ways. Like, I really think Celes has got so much going for her. So let's just start with what's probably the most important thing here. Um, I think Underworld Breach is probably going to be a core card.
Indeed, indeed. Also, World Gorger Abdel.
Do we have to run World Gorger, my guy?
I love World Gorger in this deck, actually. Like, I know that World Gorger's like it's not safe, but we're in white, so we have silence effects to back us up, so we're probably safe all the time.
I'll add the Ranger Captain of EOS because it was mentioned. I mean, it's always a good card. Esper Sentinel, yes. God,
The
you
other,
know what's really cool with Celes? Your Esper Sentinel.
oh yeah, it's
He's gonna
getting
be
bigger.
so swole. He's gonna be so swole. It's like, will you pay the 15? You're not even worried about it at that point. You're just like, please just don't hit me with another 15 damage.
Mystic Remora, who?
Surly Badgersaur, Blasting Station, any persister equals combo Celes will. Will is correct.
Yeah,
Audience will is correct. I
audience
mean, we
will.
could we could do that if that's something you guys want to do. You know, we
My thing is, if we're going for the flicker build, I think we just want more ways of flickering.
dude,
I
hear me out though. It literally, if you just have Phyrexian Altar and a persister, infinite mana, it's basically food chain. Celes, go through your deck. If you
Yeah,
have Blasting Station, persister, I get why we want the persisters. I
I
do.
like Phyrexian Altar specifically. So if we want to do like Lesser Masticore and Red Cap, and then have Phyrexian Altar, I'm fine with that being like our persist package.
You want like a side angle of just those three things.
Yeah, because I mean, if we do the whole persist with Phyrexian Altar thing, we get all of our creatures from deck into play, discard Anger, and then we just do loop, 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 loop with a persist creature and make our things infinitely big.
Is Lesser Mastercore the best persister we could be running? It's 2 CMC
It's 2 CMC that costs 2 generic. The only other one is Putrid Goblin.
and then Red
And, that,
Cap
and
it
that's Black
for.
Pip, which is the only
Yeah.
reason why I don't want to run it.
Do you want to put Murder's Red Cap in here? Do you really?
It's a win con.
Sure.
Putrid Goblin and Lesser Masticore are probably better, though.
We'll talk about this as we go along and see if there aren't flex spots. Yawgmoth? Thran
No.
Physician? All of the recruiters, both Imperial Recruiter and Recruiter of the Guard. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for the suggestions. Feel free to suggest any tech that you feel Celes would want to use. We'll obviously talk through it together. If it's a slam dunk, I'm just gonna put it in the deck. So Imperial Recruiter, yes, these make sense to me. Recruiter of the Guard, these all make sense to me.
Also, yeah, we said Esper Sentinel, Orcish Bowmaster, probably opposition agent.
Sorry, yeah, we're slow rolling. Orcish Bowmaster. It's because there's I feel like there's so many cool tech pieces we can add. Obviously, we know the combo cards. We're going to throw them in here in a second. Underworld Breach is one. Let's see. Orcish Bowmaster, opposition agent, yes, because it's just ultimately going to be a body that gets infinitely big. It really, like, any value creature, throw my way. Like, I will want to use all of them. I think we'll mention Draneth Magistrate. Might as well put Draneth Magistrate. We'll definitely want to add removal too. Just make sure that there isn't anything that can stop
and
us.
we already added Abdel and World Gorger, right? Only reason why I actually like World Gorger in this list, though, is if we just hard play World Gorger, we tap all of our lands and exile everything, flicker World Gorger, and then we get all of the things back, and we get more mana. So World Gorger makes our flickers net positive and is pretty much a get this into play, you draw your deck line.
Do we just want to have in the body Lean and Relic Warder with the two, like, the animate effects?
Well, we're already doing that, but we're doing that with Abdel.
Yeah, it just feels.
I don't think we need the redundancy.
It oddly feels worse. My only reason for wanting to include it is that you could also loop that with Phyrexian Altar. Like, if we have that line in the deck, we might as well just make infinite. Because, like, by itself, it's just infinite +1/+1s. But if you're making infinite mana, you can make infinite Celes. You can make infinite trash, Sivian's Wreck, to play all the things, or just leave it in your hands, right? You're +1. I don't know, man. My issue with Celes is that she does a lot really well. So it's like I don't even know which angle I want to go with. This is the first time I've had a Mardu commander that like sees all the combo cards that have been common throughout the years and is like, yeah, I could use that. My issue is like I don't know which one I want to go for because they're all good. Like I like that line because it's the least self-destructive, but it's not the most efficient, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
To my fellow Will Bomberman, no, because we don't want infinite combos. We want infinite combos that lets us sack our commander and replay our commander.
Mm.
So like infinite mana is good, but infinite mana doesn't win us the game. Infinite mana with sacking something does win us the game.
Right.
But
That's why. I'm sorry.
I thought about Bomberman a couple times to be like, is it good? No. Is it? No.
I mean, it's good. It's good. It's a thing
Yeah.
that exists. It is good. It's just that our
Jessica Timna does it better.
yeah. It's funny. This is the one instance where like this is the one combo I would say that the deck really doesn't need necessarily. It could run it though.
Lotho Corrupt Sheriff.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with Lotho.
Let's get into some flicker effects and other fun things.
Right. I didn't add any of the animate auras yet for World Gorger.
We can do the animate auras first. Animate Dead, Dance of the Dead, Necromancy. There we go. Done.
We want to use all three?
Yeah, I like all three. Because they're, worst case scenario, going to be extra Celes triggers. So
I'm going to add the get out of jail free card. I'm just going to add Savine's Reclamation just to...
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, honestly, it's a free card to discard to draw. It's also just a really good card in hand. It's just good all over. Savine's Reclamation is a good card, especially with Celes. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name, by the way. I definitely played that game, but there isn't any voice acting. I think I definitely just had to think of how they were pronounced. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, you can correct me.
We were offered Silence, Grand Abolisher, Red Elemental Blast, Pyroblast, Tybalt's Trickery, and Mana Tithe if you are feeling spicy. No on Mana Tithe, yes on everything else.
Everything else, though, yeah. I like how we both kind of concur.
And Mayhem Devil for sure. No, only because we're not really sacking things consistently. But if we were doing the other version of the deck, yes, 100% Mayhem Devil, but not here.
Any good redirects we should add as well? I'm sorry. I mean, she's Deflecting Swat. She's also Bolt Bendable, but she has 4 power. Don't forget about Bolt Bend.
Don't forget about Deadly Relic either. We got to love Deadly Relic.
Yeah, I will add Bolt Bend. I do think, like, because this deck doesn't care about... This is so counter to so many lists. Like, I don't think we're going to run Ad Nauseam, right? We're not... Do we run Ad Nauseam? I guess we could.
We could, but I think we're going through our deck fast enough.
We'll see. I agree with you. I do agree with that. I'm going to add Bolt Bend. Like, I would rather... This is crazy that I'm not even considering PETA. I guess we could consider Necropotence, but that does fuck up the trash for our breach turns. Like if we are slow rolling it, if we're trying to win on the spot, then it shouldn't be an issue.
It's funny because actually we could probably win at instant speed with Celes by doing like draw. Holy crap, that's insane. Okay. So if we Necro for like 30 with Celes in play, we flicker Celes with Cloud Shift, discard 30, draw another 30, have 30 Necropotence triggers.
No, sorry, Will, I'm sorry, 31.
Yes. 31. And then we just need to hit Necromancy to do the thing, or heck, even hitting Shallow Grave to get World Gorger or Abdel out temporarily, and then we start flickering Abdel or World Gorger to get infinite mana. That's game. Like that's usually game, because then we just need to find Necromancy or Orcish Bowmaster and we win.
Wait, how does Necropotence read though? Like we would put in the trash.
When you discard a card to graveyard,
trigger
it. So it's a trigger, so we can respond to the trigger. We put in Necropotence. We put in Necropotence because it gives us the backup disgusting line of just pay a lot with Celes in play.
Oddly, it might be one of the better Necropotence decks now that I'm thinking about it. Because if it's literally just leveraging a commander that's there, like if they don't remove the commander, and you're like, yeah, you gonna let me flicker this? Like with
Yes,
this
you
with the
will.
with this many cards? Mm. Oh, sorry, I'm with you guys. Drax, I put the tutors. Culling the Week, Dark Ritual. Okay, let's start with Dark Ritual. Do you want to do
For,
Cabal
I will
Ritual?
say for interaction, I don't think we need a ton of interaction just because our game plan is outspeed everybody.
Ideally, she
Mhm.
is kind of she's kind of costly, but it's like she's only one pip in each category.
Also, I
Um,
don't know if you put them. Oh no, I can see the Imperial Seal, but also putting Gamble in Tomb and what's the other one? Unmarked Grave.
yeah, I don't know
Somebody
that
also said
we.
Buried Alive, and I don't hate Buried Alive, but
Oh, I'm gonna
I
put on
don't
this.
know.
I'm gonna put it on the sideboard for now because I can't think of three creatures right off the top of my head that I want to bury
Well, I mean,
effectively.
it'd be Abdel, World Gorger, and then Anger. But the thing is, like, Entomb just does that cheaper.
Yeah, but it also doesn't leave you ass out if for whatever reason your graveyard's exiled, right? So
Yeah. Well, I don't think you hit all three of those. It's probably just Abdel, Anger, and something else.
I'll put it on the side for now. But yeah, I see. I love Worm's Chant. Thank you. It's one of my favorite cards
Yeah,
in the
Chance good.
game. Definitely a must. Flare of Duplication. Any of the flares will. Did I do Deflecting
I'm
Swat? I did
I'm
that.
not very high on the flares just because usually you don't want to have to invest something into play and then sack it later.
True. Nether Shadow. At the beginning of your upkeep, if this card is in your graveyard with 3 or more creature cards above it, you may put this card onto the battlefield. That's cheeky. I get what you're going for there. I don't think that we need the Nether Shadow because, like, at that point, we should be able to dump the board and do something else with it on the spot.
No to Nether Shadow, but I love that that card was brought up
Yeah.
because I have been constantly aware of this card's existence.
Flame Scroll Celebrant's the one I'm thinking about, right? It's like the one that surveils.
Uh, Dragon
No,
Rage Channeler.
no, I'm mistaken. Yeah, that's Dragon Raid's Challenger. Whenever an opponent activates an ability that isn't a mana ability, it deals 1 damage to that player. Then obviously it has the Revel in Silence in the back.
Well, really quick to get a little bit back on track. Oh, did
Do you
somebody
like
bring
Flame
up?
Scroll? Yeah,
Did
do you
somebody
like
bring up?
yeah, Flame Scroll Celebrant. It's not
I mean, it's really there for the back.
it's just a body. It's a body with silence. Like if we cast the silence, it's another body we can put on the battlefield, but it's not like we're desperate for bodies.
I think we're gonna have to cut a ton of cards in this, so I'm gonna say no, but I
For
don't
now.
hate the include. If we need more interaction, that probably does go in. But
Yeah.
to go to the flicker tech, we have Ephemerate, we have Cloud Shift.
Hold up. Ephemerate, Cloud Shift. Is Cloud Shift one word?
Yeah,
These are all the one drops you're giving me, right?
those are the only 2/1 drops, but there's a couple 2 drops that are worth it. Flicker of Fate,
Mm-hmm.
Slip on the Ring,
Like it, like it.
and Justicar's Portal.
Just a car's portal.
And those are all the ones that instantly return. For reanimates, outside of the enchantments, we have a Shallow Grave and Reanimate.
Shallow grave. Wait, why do we want these?
Just as another way of flickering our commander.
Oh,
Actually, there is one more 2 CMC flicker that is not 2 CMC, but it's 2 CMC. Pegasus Guardian. It has an adventure side that's a flicker, but I don't think we want it because we can't use it for breach loops. But I don't think we're using the 2 CMC ones for breach loops anyways. I'll look it up, Patrick, and you can tell me if you think it's worth it. Pegasus Guardian.
yeah, I saw it there. I'll make it large for the screen though. Super cute art, by the way.
Indeed.
Um, all
It's
right.
just another 2 mana flicker, and it has a body. I mean, worst case scenario, it is just another flicker. Probably good enough.
Yeah, it's the one time. Sadly, it's like when you cast an adventure, like that subtype, it has to go on the adventure.
True,
Um,
but I don't think we're using the two CMC things for breach anyways.
unless
So like
we
slip on the ring is never breach.
unless we put and pull from eternity. Put target face up card that's removed from the game into its owner's graveyard. We could like, hey, fuck your adventure. Get back here. We're trying to flicker right now. You're the only one we have left. That would be so bad. Pull from
Um,
eternity is a great card. We're not gonna use that. Are we gonna use the One Ring? Well,
uh,
speaking of slip on the ring.
are we using the One Ring? Probably not, because I think we're just trying to rush out our commander and then go nah 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 nah. But Drax, we brought up the Bomberman combo before of LED and Auriok Salvager. No, we're not playing it only because it doesn't instantly win the game. Because infinite mana doesn't win us the game. We need to sack our commander. For Steve, would you consider running something like Croxa as an additional win con? No, because we already have Bowmaster, we already have Abdel with Anger, and we already have like World Gorger with Anger. So, well, not World Gorger. World Gorger very specifically does not work, but we have Abdel with Anger as a win con, and we can just do the dumb thing regardless. So, no. The answer is no. Um, Skyclave Apparition, Witch Enchanter. Witch Enchanter is probably a yes, just because it's a land that's not
MDFC.
a land.
Yeah, good MDFC. I like it. That's
Skyclave
interesting.
is
Ooh, that's interesting.
probably no.
Skyclave apparition. Yeah, it sort of hits anything though. I guess is why you would want it. Tiny Bones joins up too. Oh, we
If I
could put split. We
remember,
could put split up. By the way, if we just want some mass removal, one good thing of mass removal. Um, and
yeah, I
I'm gonna
think
put fire.
Split up and Toxic are both good enough. Tiny Bones joins up. It enters any number of target players. Each discard a card when a legendary enters the battlefield under your control. Each opponent mills a card and loses a life. Each of any number of target players mills a card and loses a life. It's a win con, but I, no, I don't think we need it because we already have win cons. Our win cons are either make a massive board, make a very wide board, or just burn them with Bowmaster.
Any other single target removal you want to incorporate?
Well,
Ooh, Emergent Zone is kind of a good tech card.
Emergent Zone is already in the deck actually. As one of the
Never mind then. Oh, guys, don't worry. I'm gonna leave you a link to the deck in just a second. Final Fortune type of effects. That is a good question.
We might be able to do that because also if we're doing Necropotent stuff, Final Fortune is just good.
And by Final Fortune type of effects, we really just mean Final Fortune, the instant speed one. It's maybe the only one we'll want to include. Guys, I've just left you a link to finally combo Celes or Rune Knight. So you can follow along with us, play test the deck, obviously. We're at 88 cards, Will, and I don't think we're nearly done.
Well, we have a Twin Flame, Molten Duplication, Electro Duplication, and Heat Shimmer. And after that, I think we're done with all of our flicker effects.
Do you want to add dual caster mage? Electro Duplication?
Electro Duplicate. Sorry. I like dual caster just as another win con.
Yeah, I mean with all the cards for it, we might as well. Sorry, Twin Flame, Molten Duplication, Electro Duplication, Heat Shimmer. I have Mox Diamond. What other Mox did I put in? I feel like I put Mox Opal. No, good. Okay, Chrome Mox. Did I not put any other Mox in? We're not going to put Mox Amber. How many of the rituals do we want in here? I threw a few in. Not to say that we're going to use all of them, but
Rite of Flame, Dark Ritual. I don't think we want Culling the Weak because we don't have a ton of bodies. Oh, we Ragavan, Nimble Pilfer. That definitely goes in.
yeah, Esper Sentinel and that can go in. That's easy. We trying to do a Hoarding Broodlord shenanigans?
Maybe.
If we entomb and do a Hoarding Broodlord thing, what is the Saw in half line of play? I mean, we could just win with that, frankly. But
yeah, so Hoarding Broodlord, Saw in half, finding Sacrifice, and
I guess Burnt Offering, right?
yeah,
We
burnt offering over anything else. Then we find Breach, and then we bring back Broodlord with our Reanimate and some of the remaining Burnt Offering mana, and then we just go find Ephemerate, do Ephemerate things. Find Ephemerate, flicker our commander, or flicker Broodlord and find Lotus Petal, and then go from there.
is this a reach? Do we really need to go this route? I feel like
I
we're
mean,
probably.
it's really just Hoarding Broodlord, Saw in half, and Burnt Offering, right? Those are the 3 cards we're adding for the combo. It's not horrible. Burnt Offering has some utility just by sacrificing our commander and getting us 4 mana out of it. Saw in half is another way to double trigger our commander. Honestly, I do like Saw in half just in the deck. Yeah, it's fine. That's a fine combo. I agree with it.
Okay, so
we don't need Pier specifically because we can kind of build a Pier.
yeah, so long as we're not spreading ourselves too thin, I think is my only goal. What other rocks do we want? What other fast mana? I put Simeon Spirit Guide. I put Lotus Petal. It's also important to note that if we dump our hands this way, we're not going to have much of a hand to dump off Celes.
Yeah, we may want Wheel of Fortune. We can also just probably put some generic draw effects in the deck. What other good draw effects are in our colors?
I mean, I'm just going to put the One Ring in. I do think that we could probably just mana vault a One Ring and be happy. Smothering Tithe is a generic mana gain effect. Trouble in Pairs is a draw, right? Mardu, sadly, doesn't have much by way of like decent draw in a 4-person game.
Archivist of Ogham. Or Archivist of Ogma.
Yeah, we could do Archivist of Ogma. And I didn't know there's a secret lair for it. Is that Chucky? Wait, sorry, I just want to see what SLD this is. I don't know what that's from. Is that bad? I really don't know what that's from. At any rate, we're going to use it. We have Asper Sentinel, we have the Ragavan, that's kind of draw. Do we want
to not for the reasons that we're talking about.
Do you want to use like Praetor's Grasp, anything of that nature? I mean, we could win with someone else's Thassa's Oracle if we really wanted to. If we just make infinite mana. Praetor's Grasp or Thoracle.
Do we put in Smuggler's Share? At the beginning of each end step, draw a card for each opponent who drew 2 or more cards this turn, then create a treasure token for each opponent who had 2 or more lands enter the battlefield under their control this turn?
Yeah.
Because if somebody has a Rhystic, this is just drawing us cards off other people's Rhystics.
I like it. I mean, I like Smuggler's Share a little bit more than I like Smothering Tithe.
Yeah.
No offense. This is a card that's very underutilized, though, and not without cause. It's like, it used to be mana cryptable. It's very easy to get out. Do we have Ancient Tomb in here? Okay.
Now nothing is mana cryptable.
No. Right, for now.
Oh, we do have Ancient Tomb, but it's the weird Lord of the Rings name.
That's okay. We've got Enlightened Toots. Now we do. Any other tutor that you can think of, Will, that we haven't added yet?
Diabolic Intent, but I don't think we want to sack bodies. I think we're good on tutors. I believe we're good on tutors.
Sack Bodies is a good like punk rock name. What about Containment Construct and Conspiracy Theorist?
discarding cards lets you discard them to exile, and you may play them. You may play them this turn. The issue is that we can't do reanimate stuff if we have them in play. Well, conspiracy theorist we can because we only exile one of the cards exiled, but no, it disrupts our lines.
What was the draw engine that came out of this Virtue and Valor box? Wasn't there like a white mage that like drew cards? This one? Do you know what I'm talking about? The Apprentice, the something Apprentice, it like comes in with a roll or something like that.
Oh, the Commander. The Commander itself draws a ton.
Well,
it's when an enchanted creature you control deals combat damage, draw a card.
It's a white. It's just a white card. It was just simply white. A student?
We're talking about the Archivist of Augur?
No. Shoot. It was a white creature. That was like 2 CMC. Land tax and or catch-up ramp effects. Land tax or catch-up ramp effects?
I think our game plan is trying to turn 2 or 3 our commander and then win the turn after. So I don't think catch-up effects are going to have time to get us there.
Are there repeatable flickers? Should we put our Isochron Scepter into the deck? I know that it is obviously limited to the one use, but... Are there Isochron Scepter lines we're not thinking about? In Mardu?
Not any that are worth running.
Right. If it targeted... well... Is there like some sort of kooky Rings of Bright Hearth untap shenanigan thing we could be doing? Probably not.
No. You're too stuck in the Oswald headspace right now.
Oh, Rings of Bright Hearth's great.
We can double our commander's effect. Actually, Rings activated. Never mind, not triggered. Yeah.
Although, do you want to add trigger to the mix? Do we want to have things that trigger our commander? So obviously not Delny, but maybe that one boy, that one tarantula-looking construct.
The roaming throne. Also, why do you think the roaming throne looks like a tarantula? I always figured him more like the walkers from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Let me look at it again. Yeah, it does look like that.
Yeah.
Wait, did this come... Yeah, this came out after. Yeah, interesting. Damn, boy, $30 for a standard copy? Didn't you pull one?
I know I had to buy one.
Okay. Oh, neither of us did. Neither of us did from the set. We pulled a lot of cool shit, but that was not one of them. Demonic Console. Demonic Consultation? We have a land base set up for Tainted Pack in DC, by the way. We might as well run them.
Yeah, we have so much redundancy in our deck that the likelihood of us not having WinCon after doing them is pretty low.
I'll just put the Tainted Pack. I think that's probably enough.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've got some cards to cut, but I also want to review the list to make sure we have everything we need in there. We're 5 cards over, and I honestly don't think our interaction suite is as heavy as I want it to be. No tutor with Delirium. No, the tutor with Delirium. Oh.
There's the new black one, right? That's tutor demon if you have Delirium, tutor anything.
Demonic Console.
Oh, that's the Delirium tutor. Got it. Yeah. I forget that that's cards so often.
I feel like it's... I think it's a little too slow. I don't hate it, though. I really hate it.
I think that this is not a bad deck for it, only because we are discarding so frequently.
Let's see where we land. Let's see where we land when we dump some cards here. Will, are we missing any artifact ramp? We've got... Well, let's just go through it. The One Ring, Phyrexian Altar, which is a combo piece, obviously. Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone. Odds are likely we'll hit one of our 3 of the 5 colors. Mana Vaults, Soul Ring, Chrome Mox, Mox Diamond, Lotus Petal.
Nope, we're good on artifacts.
Sorry, Chaotic. I do like the suggestion. Creatures will. We've got Hoarding Broodlord. Wow, there's new art for World Gorger Dragon. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah,
Wait.
the fancy art?
No, I've just not seen this one. I have a really cool hand-painted World Gorger Dragon that I always want to use.
Now you can.
Honestly, if this deck turns out good, there's multiple Final Fantasy commanders that I'm really enjoying. Dude, the World Gorger that's enveloping the world. That's the one. That's the one I want to play. The one that's actually gorging on a world.
Yeah. We can cut Murderous Redcap. We might also be able to cut Recruiter of the Guard. Not Imperial Recruiter, because Imperial finds more, I think. But we might be able to cut Recruiter of the Guard, but we can keep it for now. Oh, well, I'm looking at the World Gorger art you're talking about. Yeah, that's sick.
Dude, I never knew that existed. That's so good.
I think that's new. Like, a couple months ago new.
Recruiter of the Guard, what do we... Yeah, we've got a lot of smaller wee-wees than we got booties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shishis than peepees.
The main difference is that Recruiter of the Guard very specifically cannot find Drannith Magistrate, but Imperial Recruiter can.
I'm fine to sideline it just for now, because what are the bodies that we're pulling that are super important? It's really just Dualcaster Mage.
Esper.
Sure, Esper. I mean, that's what we got. That's what we got our boy Ranger Captain of Eos. Okay. Is Felia too slow as repeatable flicker?
It's the dog.
I think it is specifically at the end of your turn or something. It is the doggo.
When it attacks, exile a non-land permanent and then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the end step. Not horrible. If we were going for the slower version of the deck with Undying stuff, I would 100% put it in. I don't think we need it for our version, but we might. If we need more draw, Felia is technically 1 extra draw per turn.
What's the Undergrowth tutor, Will?
What do you mean?
A tutor with the keyword Undergrowth.
Oh. Undergrowth is a freaking keyword?
Yeah. Yeah. Birgi? Would you like to run Birgi?
No. Maybe, but no. Oh, yeah, Undergrowth is the graveyard one. Mausoleum Secrets.
Mausoleum, thank you. Is oft forgotten tutor called Mausoleum Secret.
It only finds black cards.
Yeah,
that's the downfall of Mausoleum.
It's not the end of the world. There's some good black cards. Ever heard of a card called Necropotence? We've got enough tutors for Necropotence, I think. But Will, I don't think we added Anger.
Oh, let's add Anger.
Cold comparisons. Okay, so we're gonna add Anger.
Going back to the chat, somebody brought up Jessica's Will.
I threw that in. But
Bergie is a maybe.
Birgi?
No, but it's a maybe only because Birgi does give mana and lets us storm off a little bit better, and it pays for the generic for all the 2-cost do a thing spells. I don't think we need the extra mana though. I could 100% be proven wrong after we play test it though.
What about the Mass Hysteria, Will?
We have.
It's not in the deck yet.
Yeah, we can keep it out of the deck. Anger does the job.
Huh, damn, you only want one card that does it, huh?
Yeah, we don't need any others. We're cool like that. We also already have Orcish Bowmaster to finish the job, so
Yeah. Lively Dirge, you say. Search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. This is one of the sprees from Outlaws OTJ. OTJ? Run up to 2 target creature cards with a mana value of 4 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. doesn't hit our damn dragon. Not that we would want to do it this way. Saw in half. It's good with Broodlord, but also just good with the commander. Yeah.
It's in here.
Jonathan, thank you.
It's in here.
I do like Lively Dirge. I do think there's that other spree card, the white one. High Noon. Damn it. What's it called? I use it in Oswald. Am I about to look up spree?
That's what I'm doing right now because I'm like, it's
showdown. It's something showdown. It's gonna be a showdown. All creatures lose all. Yep. Creatures you control gain indestructible. Yep. Destroy all creatures. I don't know. That feels like a mono white tech card.
It can be played in other decks. It's just not for this deck. We're playing fast.
Yeah, no one suggested it, by the way. I'm just thinking of spree cards because you brought up Lively Dirge. Why not add Dahada, since it's a flicker commander as well as fuels the graveyard? Dahada, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take her.
Because we don't need to fill our graveyard. The only reason why I can't really think of a reason why we would want Dahada. Because Dahada makes some mana. Dahada's 4 mana, but we just play our commander and we do our thing anyways. I don't think we want Dahada in this deck. Now, granted, I think Dahada is one of the best Mardu commanders, period. I just don't think that we want Dahada in this deck.
Dahada with the Bada is going to keep it parked on the side for now.
It's funny because I know of Dahada from Dahada's Ploy, not from the 2 Planeswalker cards of Dahada.
Which is funny, isn't it Dimir, Dahada's Ploy?
Yeah, well, the other Dahada is Grixis.
Okay, that explains it. All right, Will, let's look at our creatures once again. Witch Enchanter. By the way, if there are any MDFCs that we're missing that you guys think we should use, Razorgrass Ambush, yada, 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 holler, and we'll include them. As a matter of fact, I'll probably add Razorgrass Ambush. Okay. I also like the MDFCs specifically because they're things we could attach to Chrome Mox, which is kind of important. So
I like all of our creatures. I looked through all of them. I like them. We're good.
All right, and here we are again with just one combo creature, Lesser Masticore. We're really ballsy. What are we doing? I normally like redundancy. I don't know.
If you want to cut Lesser Masticore for red cap, and then we have another finisher, you can do that.
Fuck red cap, Will. I would rather have a thing I need to pay 4 damage into. 4 mana into to damage the thing. No, sorry. The Murderous red cap's cute. We're never going to cast Lesser Masticore, I don't think. We're probably just going to try to pull it out of the graveyard elsewise. I don't know, dude. Grand Arbiter. Flare of Duplication. Luris. Luris is a little out of the picture at this moment.
Luris is more of a stacks card than anything else.
Yeah. Enchantments. We've got Smuggler's Share. Necropotence. Necromancy. Underworld Breach, Dance of the Dead, and Animate Dead. Sorry, I slowly shifted into... What's that guy's name from the Traders? No, I was thinking of the guy... oh, shoot, I saw him in a staged version of Macbeth. Why can't I remember his name? He's the host of Traders. Just traitors. Cauldron Haze. I believe that's a card. Cauldron Haze? Cauldron hazed and confused for so long it's not true. Choose any number of target creatures. Each of those creatures gains persist until the end of turn. Will, how do you feel about that shit?
Doesn't really do a ton in our deck. Granted, that does make it so that we can sacrifice our commander to reanimate our commander, but we need to find a way to sacrifice our commander to do that.
Phyrexian Altar, my guy.
Yeah, but we need to find it.
We got tutors galore. We technically got artifact tutors we're not even running.
Twin Flame is like our other way of sacking our commander.
Yeah.
But
Smothering Tithe. It is a draw meta right now. Is it, Demon? I feel like it's been a draw game forever. I think it's been a draw game forever. I get what you're saying, though. We definitely want to draw like you're trying to draw out and like everyone loses equally, or you're just saying that we want cards that draw. Goblin Bombardment. Goblin Bombard. There's a sack outlet that would do it. Will. Who needs Murderous Red Cap when you've got Goblin Bombardment? We're getting cheeky. We're gonna probably kill people with Orcish Bowmaster. I don't think we need to add Impact Tremors was mentioned earlier. Goblin Bombardment. If we went the Persister route, yes, Goblin Bombardment as a generic in a red is really good. Instant speed spells, Will.
For our instant speeders, where's the? Oh, there it is. We might be able to get rid of Bolt Bend. We can probably get rid of Calling the Weak.
Right. Calling the Weak was really cool when Dockside Extortionist was a thing. Bolt Bend. I'm on the cusp. I'm almost there with you, Will. I'm almost there with you. Shit, I forgot there was a reprint of that Final Fortune.
We can also either get rid of Split Up or Fire Covenant, but we might be able to keep both.
Yeah, I'm holding on to keeping both. They're both kind of different utilities. One is obviously sorcery, one's instant. So like they have different times and places of being cast. But
Savine's Reclamation is also probably cuttable, but we can keep it around for safety's sake.
yeah, it's one of those things where it's like Noxious Revival. I just put it in decks that have that color because it's just generally good. But I don't disagree. I think that a majority of our like the cards that will win us the game are going to be 3 CMC and under. So like it hits all of them. Like if we need an animate effect to bring the thing back to do the loop, you've got Savine's Wreck. If you need the Phyrexian Altar with your Lesser Masticore, you get them both back, so on and so forth. It's not bad card. It's best reanimate in CDH. Okay. Instant speed spells. Cloud Shift, Dark Ritual, Enlightened Tutor, and Tomb. Ephemerate.
I like all of our instant speeds other than Bolt Bend, Culling the Weak, and I think that's it.
We gotta use this one. This is the best Ephemerate. And I really wish I didn't sell my copy. I'm a little annoyed that I don't have that card anymore. Winds of Abaddon. I actually really do like. I didn't add Winds of Abandon because I generally prefer Split Up, but I do think is like a 2 CMC piece of removal that can be overloaded. What's the word? Is it overloaded? Oh,
it's overloaded.
It's overloaded. It's overloaded. Will, we need to cut through more cards.
Let's see. I'm still here. I just dropped a thing.
I don't know that we need Shallow Grave.
Yeah, we can cut Shallow Grave. That's probably the worst reanimate in our deck right now.
Right. Goryo's Vengeance was like another option in that same slot we could use, but
Shallow Grave has more flexibility.
It does.
We can also cut Electro Duplicate. That's probably our worst copy effect.
Right.
Electro Duplicate and Heat Shimmer.
Damn, man. No.
We still Molten and Twin Flame, so we still have enough for dual caster things. And we have Saw in Half for dual caster things.
Does Saw in Half work with dual caster? Am I crazy?
Yeah, Orcish Bowmaster Saw in Half. You make infinite copies of Saw in Half with the Mage, and then you Saw in Half Orcish Bowmaster infinite times.
round up, right?
Yep. You do indeed round up.
Ooh. Demon, are you suggesting the card Dam? I do like Dam, actually. That's a split cost spell we should incorporate. Sorry. Fuck. Oh wait, dude. Wait.
I'm done.
It's not split cost. I lied about that. It's
overload.
Right. I don't know. Well, do you want to put Dam in the deck? And if
now we already have 2 wipes, and we don't really need a ton.
Yeah, split up. Well, technically, we have a targeted mass removal with Fire Covenant, Toxic Deluge. Toxic Deluge can probably come out for Dam. Because I don't really want to lose the life if my if we've got the escape button with Necropotence, I kind of want to save my life. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, double black is kind of harsh. Toxic Deluge gets around things that Damn doesn't.
Never really.
No?
Like, yes, it gets around like Heliod specifically. I cannot think of another indestructible creature it gets around.
All right, Damn. I guess we'll put that card in its place. You want to play this deck? Are we giving Celes Indestructible, Chapter Black, uh, in honor of what Will was just saying? Yes, we are. Because I want to give Will a reason to run Toxic Deluge. All right, gang.
Congratulations, your vanilla 4/4 has
Yeah.
indestructible.
Oh, she's not just vanilla, sir. She's Neapolitan. She's got a little bit of everything going on. So before we test that,
She's like Neapolitan. She's got a little bit of everything going on. However, on the board, you're only eating vanilla.
exactly. She's strawberry if you pull stuff from your graveyard, and she is chocolate when you're
I don't know.
casting
I
her.
feel like chocolate is more of a graveyard color. Strawberry is more of a man.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Strawberries. Yeah, I can appreciate that. I mean, I want to use ad nauseum with her. You could use ad nauseum with her. We decided against it, but you can. I just got here.
Chap
Chapter Black. No worries. Over
to
Necro.
give you the quick rundown, we are playing Celes, and then we are flickering the ever-loving crap out of Celes to draw through our deck rather quickly, winning with either World Gorger Dragon, Abdel, Necropotence using Celes to draw the rest of our deck, or Underworld Breach.
So Ketramos. Will, do you want to drop Ketramos in here whenever one or more cards are put in exile from your graveyard and or battlefield during your turn? Draw a card and lose a life.
No. We don't do... I guess we're doing Flicker stuff.
We don't do Ketramos.
We're not doing enough with Ketramos.
It would
99.
be Toxic Deluged. Guys, before we start off this playtest, obviously this is just a blueprint for you to follow. You can take this list in the description, put it on your favorite deck editor, and do what you will with it. You can make it a slower stack speed list. You can incorporate any sort of fast mana to turbo into XYZ. Obviously, if you want to run PETA or you want to run Ad Nauseam, Mardu is a great pairing of colors to do that. So this deck can go a lot of different directions, but as Will was saying, we're running a Flicker route. If you just want to reiterate that one more time, it's Abdel Adrian World Gorger lines to get infinite Flicker wheel into Underworld Breach lines. There is
winning with either Dual Caster Mage, Orcish Bowmaster, a combination of Dual Caster and Orcish Bowmaster, or Anger with infinite +1/+1 counters from our commander, or infinite 1/1 soldiers from Abdel.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Seems okay. Oh, also, you have secondary lines that you can run in this list as it stands. There's Phyrexian Altar with Lesser Mastercore. This itself will generate infinite mana. You can use Phyrexian Altar as a sack outlet to recast Celes to draw and discard your deck, Underworld Breach. That's the only line of play I think we added that excludes any other combo card. Obviously, Dual Caster Mage. Yeah, let's just go for it.
Also, Patrick, really quick, for the sake of vindication, the indestructible cards people run in CDH are Toski, Perforos, the Blightsteel side of Vitali, Heliod Suncrowned, and then the new god that we brought up earlier in the stream. And those are the 4 indestructible cards that people are running in CDH.
I will...
And if you want to quicken out Toxic Deluge for the Winota player when the humans come in with indestructible for that turn only. There.
Lion's Eye Diamond and Auriok Salvagers are not included because we just don't need infinite mana like that. The thing you can do instead is Lotus Petal, Underworld Breach, and Ephemerate or Cloud Shift, and literally do the same thing without the risk of dropping your hand for no apparent reason, right?
Which is
Um,
it's funny because rebound makes it so that when we cast the card, we exile it, but only if we cast it from hand. So ephemerate does work with Underworld Breach.
mhm. Guys, before we begin this one, I'll encourage you to leave a like. It goes a long way. If you want to pick up these singles, you can do so through the link in the description. And obviously, if you have more suggestions post stream, I always ask this. Feel free to lend your 2 cents. Like if you couldn't make it for the live, that's totally fine. But these are community builds, so the idea is to get these in tip-top shape. So help us get it there. All right, ready to do this thing. I love Winota, but she's too powerful for my playgroup. I think Celes will be worse.
Winota is like very clearly a CDH deck.
Yeah.
Um,
Do we just hope we pull into Dark Ritual? I don't know. This isn't a good one. We're not keeping this hand. Huh. No lands. No lands, Mana Vault. We're gonna mull like there's no tomorrow. We just want to see what a good hand looks like. And then
I think
obviously
the deck would probably play better with like a few signets in it, but
no, we should add the signets after this playtest here.
yeah, like signets and talismans might be good.
Instead of some of the rituals. The rituals are really just a means of like getting those things out. This is acceptable though, for the most part. This is okay. We really want to drop that Lotho as soon as possible if we're to keep this hand. What is your favorite way to play this hand, Will?
It unfortunately is probably fetch for a red-white source into Ancient Tomb next turn, Savine's Reclamation, getting back the fetch land, and then using the fetch land to get the source for Lotho.
I think that's it too. So we're gonna go Plateau.
And we can also play Mana Vault off of doing that. So that's a good opener, actually.
It's not horrible. It's not horrible. Yeah, we'll probably use the Mana Vault to push the Savine's.
Oh, that was a Necropotence top deck.
Yeah. That's not horrible. And Necromancy follow. All right, so we'll do Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb is our land per turn. We can do... There's no way to do it all, is there? Right? No. The Mana Vault's nice, but I don't know that we need it. I feel like initially there was a goal to cheat out things with it, but that goal is kind of dead. Let's do the Savine's.
It's a mana rock that gets flickered by our Abdel or a World Gorger, so it can do enough, hopefully.
Right. I'm not going to check my life for this list, but we're going to do red-black. Bad lands. This is good. Thoughts on proxies? No real thoughts.
Love them.
Yeah.
Love them.
No real thoughts. Please run them. Should you like? I don't really care. I don't really care these days. I've spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars on my hobbies. Namely TCGs. And I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. You guys have no idea how much shit is sitting in front of me between Magic, One Piece, Pokemon. Don't ask me why. Some stuff from One Piece Day Dallas that I just have sitting over here. Stuff I didn't offload. I'm happy to say I did top 128. I had a real shit luck with my first. You don't want to take L's in the first few rounds. Sadly, I bricked twice in a row. And then I had a great win streak. I was aiming to go 7-2, but I took one more L. I bricked out again against a rush list with no blockers, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna eat this. It was really close though, and then I ended as 111 out of like 1,000 something, so I'm happy with that. But a bunch of shit from all these events and all these things. Proxy to your heart's content. Who cares?
Martin, I recommend using Make Playing Cards to get proxies. They have another website that helps build whatever list you need with specific artwork, and then you pretty much download an app, click one button, and then they'll make it into a make playing cards order for you. So once you have the app, it's as simple as like pick that art, pick that art, pick that art, pick that art. Good. Order, moves here, pay, done. It's the easiest, most direct way to go about it. We're playing Lotho, by the way.
No,
We need
I already
yeah.
moved out. I already moved out. I don't like what I'm seeing. I want to fix this. Talisman of
Okay.
Indulgence, Talisman of Dominance. No, that's Demir.
Um,
Talisman of Curiosity is Boros.
I don't know the Boris one. I think
Conviction's got to be it. I'm just going off vibes here. I'm sorry. Talisman of Indulgence is black red for sure. Talisman of Conviction has to be Boros. Has to be.
yeah. Conviction is Boros. Indulgence is Rakdos, and then
Well, don't tell me.
uh,
Wait. Don't tell me.
I actually know
Hierarchy.
that. Yeah, it's
Hierarchy.
hierarchy. It's hierarchy.
Yeah. But yes, Martin, I'm going to second what Will just said. If you want to like purchase proxies, I'll only suggest that you make sure that the backs of these cards aren't Magic the Gathering backs, so there's no confusion ever.
Mhm.
But get like Proxy the Gathering backs, and then do it up. Get your favorite art.
Here's an example. So this is a card that I have. Like, well, let's see if my camera will focus. It doesn't want to focus, but it looks like a regular Jewel Lotus. I
Well, Will,
think my
why are you trying to play a banned card anyways?
well, yeah, but I have it next to me because I took it out of a deck.
Hmm.
So it looks like a legitimate Magic card, like same thickness and everything. It's a proxy. That's why I like make playing cards. They look completely real, where people really are not going to tell the difference if they're looking at just the front.
Mm-hmm.
So I say use make playing cards.
Yeah, NPC is good. NPC is really good. I agree with that. Will, just the tallies, or do you want the signets as well?
I think we can do the signets and probably cut out a couple of the more value-based stuff in our deck. Not the draw value-based stuff, but like maybe the recruiter of the guard that we were talking about earlier.
I think I already took it out.
Oh, we already took it out. Never mind.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of a tough time here.
But I do stand with we probably want the signets because I feel like our deck is going to be rampant to our commander and then flick our commander a lot.
We don't talk about video games. I invest a lot of hours in video games. That's also money. No regrets though, but I've plugged a lot of hours already into Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'm enjoying it. So I don't know, but I'm also up to like I was up till 4 a.m. last night. I was up till 4 a.m. playing Wilds with my brother who lives in Arizona, and I got up at 6 to go to work. I don't know how I'm awake right now. I caught like my third wind later in the evening, but we're here. I am thoroughly enjoying this, by the way. We need to cut out some lines of play, I think is what's going to happen, Will. Because we do want this like acceleration, but 2 CMC rocks are not really 2 for 1s is not like acceleration. This list is going slow. I guess is what I'm saying. From the 3 hands I drew, it looks like it's going slow. I would rather dam than split up at this point. And
We don't care about our board too much. We just care that bodies exist in our deck.
right. I'm working on getting Street Fighter 6 so I can play my Street Fighter 6 Mai from King of Fighters? May? May? We're gonna keep all the artifacts where they are. I really like all of our creatures, man. Well, I need to cut 5 more cards. Let's cut
Let's see.
one of the redundant animate effects. Would you rather...
Between Dualcaster being its own thing, Orcish Bowmaster with Abdel being a thing, and Dualcaster plus Orcish Bowmaster, do we need Anger anymore?
No. Which is just to suggest that we're not using her +1 effect at all. To the extent where we're trying to beat people to death.
Yeah. Do we also want to just take out the Phyrexian Altar playline? The Lesser Master.
I am thinking that, which is kind of weird to pigeonhole ourselves. But to be honest, it felt secondary. Yeah, King of Fighters May is special guest. I didn't know that. That's sick. Last fighting game I played was, well, I own Tatsunoko versus Capcom on GameCube. That might be one of the last ones I played outside of Smash. And recently, it was like a Blaz Blue game. Like the Blaz Blue, they're easier to get into. I think is why I just enjoy those. But I'm not ever going to be very good at Tekken or Street Fighter, frankly. I can throw down though. Smash though, you need to actually get good at to play effectively. But like, most of the people I play with are subpar as well. Relative to
I'm
like,
good enough at the game.
I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy playing it. It's like visually really exciting. The soundtrack's amazing. The levels are great. We don't really play with items. We sort of just free for all. But I like playing with pals and like against NPCs, hard NPCs. Like, I'm not good at doing one-on-one fights, so I'm not even ever trying to go for that. You want to get rid of Sivian's Wreck?
I like it as a safety net, but it's probably not necessary.
I like it as a safety net now. Did we add Final Fortune yet? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it's in finals then.
I'm having a tough time cutting these last cards, man.
Can we cut Burnt Offering? So let's see, we do the Saw in Half line. We just need one and a red for.
This is a hard list to balance. I'm not gonna lie. I still hold true that she's a great legendary, but I'm having a difficult time. Like, I almost feel she wants to go slower. Just the simple fact that she's 3 pips in her casting cost, like, it is a little demanding to just like put her down.
We don't need Burnt Offering because we can just find Lotus Petal and Breach instead, and then we can convoke, or we can play Lotus Petal, tap one of the tokens, and use Lotus Petal to play Breach. Then we have Lotus Petal Breach to do whatever. So we don't need Burnt Offering.
Okay. Well, Will, we need to cut one more card.
All right.
Does it bother you at all that we're not using her secondary half?
Nah. We can cut Cabal Ritual. It's worst ritual in the deck.
Did I leave Cabal Ritual? Okay.
Yeah. Oh wait, actually, hold up. Do we still have
We have Pyretic and Desperate.
Yeah. We can probably cut those because I think we use black more than we use red. Desperate Ritual because of the chance that we somehow copy somebody's Praetor's Grasp and steal a spiritual spell.
You want to keep the
Desperate Ritual on the 1 in a billion chance that we splice onto Arcane.
All right. All right, guys. That is officially it. Let's flip and go. Okay. Molten Duplication, Deadly Rollick, Opposition Agent, 1 Command Tower, 1 Vault of Champions. This is mediocre. We're gonna pass on that. We have another 2 lander, but with Mana Vault, Underworld Breach, Dualcaster Mage, Hoarding Broodlord, and Silence. We will slowly get somewhere. Do you want to slowly go somewhere, Will, or do you want to like risk it for the biscuit? I leave it to you. I leave it in your capable hands.
Let's see, we can do. I mean, if we top deck another land, that's our commander out on turn 3.
Top deck.
That sets up a lot. So yeah, I like it. I think we can go with this hand.
We got Lotho, which is almost
just as good.
Almost the same thing, yeah. We'll do Command Tower.
Better.
Honestly, better, yeah. Command Tower, Mana Vault, pass. Next turn. Entomb. Okay, we're going to go Luxury Suite, Lothello. All right, whenever a player casts a second spell each turn, you lose 1 life and create a treasure token. A treasure token.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself to a treasure token. All right, well, how many treasures are we going to make here, sir?
Probably 2.
Turn 2? Turn 2 treasures?
Yeah.
Give cookie, get a cookie? Got a cookie, give a cookie. You ever watch New Girl?
Cookie, nom nom.
Oh, okay, never mind. Give Cookie got Cookie. How does he? Don't worry about it. Okay, so that's Lotho. He's corrupt. He's a sheriff. Next turn. Merchant Zone. Hey, there we go. Not what you meant by having her turn 3, but you know.
We still have her. We have treasures.
Yeah. We got treasures. We got treasures. Okay, so can we cast 2 spells this turn? Maybe.
We could if we wanted to, but I'm. Oh, we'll play our commander first and see if we want to afterwards.
Right. So we're gonna dump the Brood Lord, correct?
Yeah, we are dumping everything but Breach here, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, hold up. We have Entomb and Breach.
Like, don't we just have a win?
Yeah, hold up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana to play with.
Oh, well, half of which is generic. Half of which is generic.
So if we,
I mean, we could cast Hoarding Broodlord. I think we could, right? He's 7. He's 8 on the nose.
And we can tap Lotha for Hoarding Broodlord, but let's see if we. Wait. So that's 1.
I always forget this guy's got Convoke.
8.
Who is like trying to call the Hoarding Broodlords?
So we can't use Entomb to find a way to do Dual Caster this turn.
No.
We don't have anything in grave, right?
Zilch.
So we can't go for straight up Breach. So the answer is probably Broodlord. So we do tap Lotho, tap the generics for 4, and then it's 1, 2. It's 2. Hold on, am I doing math wrong? So it's.
Well, we didn't keep Burnt Offering in the deck, so we're kind of shy on mana.
8, so we have 8, so we have 9. We don't get there with 1 mana off of Broodlord, so we don't have it this turn, so I think we probably just play our commander and we can, funnily enough, it's probably good to
just... Huh?
Yeah, just go for a commander and we can pitch everything. If we hit a reanimate, we can probably go for something off Broodlord.
Yeah, but we could probably keep the Breach still. I'm happy to keep the Breach.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I technically silence if we want to be safe with our next turn, but let's draw 5 cards.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the Dual Caster and the Broodlord on top because they're the most likely suspects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. We have an Arcane Signet, a Dark Ritual, a lot of black cards, but namely Saw in Half. We keep going. Do you want to just keep rolling this, dude? Pop a treasure to Dark Writ, make a treasure, have 4 mana.
We can probably
Saw in Half commander.
Do we want to weave in an Arcane Signet in there?
I know. Yes and no. It's just like an additional card that goes towards draw. But
yeah, let's go for the draw. I prefer to go for the draw.
Do you want a Dark Rid here?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll pop
it brings us down a card in hand, but we're about to draw significantly more.
We'll do the thing. Pop a treasure, gain a treasure, Dark Rid. We have
actually hold up. Do we want to go for the Arcane Signet because it gives us a red for the Underworld Breach? Because I think we now have enough engraved to breach.
I will say we are about to make another treasure off of Lotho for the second cast. So we.
Never mind. You're right.
Yeah. So as more mana equals more better.
The treasure off Lotho should get us there.
Okay, so we'll do Dark Writ. Make a treasure. Do we want to dump Underworld Breach before we Saw in Half, or do we just want to Saw in Half?
We just want to Saw in Half.
Okay, so we'll use the Dark Writ mana to Saw in Half. We're going to Saw... Well, that's not true. We're going to hold 2 black. We're going to tap here. We're going to hold a generic. I have a treasure, 2 black, and a generic. I'm going to Saw in Half Celes. We're going to make a copy of her. Legend...
2 copies.
I should say 2 copies. But Legend Rule, we'll put...
one of the tokens in the graveyard, and we can put Celes herself in the graveyard for breach reasons. Like a escape cost.
And we'll have a clone copy on the board.
Yeah.
That is a 2/2.
So we'll discard 3, draw 4, discard 4, draw 5.
1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. We've done our land per turn. That was 3 lands and a Fellwar Stone. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have Savine's Reclamation, a mountain, a polluted. Where are all these lands coming from? I think we're down to like 29 or 28. I forget. But we've got a Soul Ring, an Underworld Breach. We've got an Entomb. I think we have all the utilities to win the game here. I don't know that we need the Soul Ring, but when life hands you Soul Ring with open generic, you play the Soul Ring.
You make Rampanade.
You make Rampanade, as they say. Let's go ahead and drop the Breach. So we'll use our red from here, and we'll tap the Soul Ring. That's fine. Holding the double black. If that's good, we have a lot of fucking lands. We have the Dark Ritual, I guess we go for the Arcane Signet into...
We can also use the Entomb to find Lotus Petal.
We just do the Entomb, yeah. Well, so the issue here is the way we did this. That's not Celes, that's a copy, so we can't really flicker it. You feel me?
Correct, but we have Celes in Graveyard right now, and we're about to escape that to put Celes back in the command zone, and we can use Saw in Half instead of using a flicker effect.
I don't think... Oh, you want to Saw in Half the copy that's on the board.
We can just keep Saw in Halfing the token.
Right, but we don't make enough mana to just do that outright, though. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we can also use a Reanimate effect on Celes instead, to get Celes out of the graveyard instead of escaping Celes. Because do we have Reanimate?
I almost feel like we did this a little backwards. I guess we could have kept the normal copy of her.
There is no normal copy. We destroyed Celes and made 2 tokens.
Never mind.
Celes was going engrave no matter what.
To answer your question, Chaotic, sorry, just before we continue, we could potentially cut a land for Burnt Offering. I just think we're bricking. It's just RNG. Well, whatever happens.
I'm pretty sure we get there.
We're still good. I do feel like we're still good though. So I agree with you. I think Entomb's the first thing we need to do. So I will use a black. We'll get rid of it's a Scape 3. So we're just gonna get rid of these lands. 1, 2, 3 lands. Okay. This leaves us with 10 cards in grave and an Entomb on the stack. Will, what do you want to Entomb?
Probably Lotus Petal. Do we have a Reanimate in graveyard right now?
No, we do not.
Okay.
I almost feel like it should just be Reanimate.
Yeah, we could go for straight up Reanimate, which should probably be good enough.
Because I want to fill up my grave a little bit more. Well, that's not true because
we can keep sacrificing the original Celes because we have the token in play. So Reanimate is basically a flicker until we get a high enough hand that we can Entomb and find Cloud Shift.
We have 1 black right now as my holdup.
Well, yeah, but we have 1 treasure, and we have we use
treasure's gone. That was for Underworld Breach.
We get Lotus Petal, we cast Lotus Petal, and then we crack it again, and then we have another black that we can use, and then we can use Entomb, then we can recast Lotus Petal and use Reanimate that we Entombed.
To do Celes. And we should have enough in grave right now. Okay, so let's do this. So Celes will not go back to the CZ. We could also reanimate Hoarding Broodlord. Is that crazy?
We need 2 generic mana to do the combo with Hoarding Broodlord.
No, we don't need that. Okay. So we're going to grab the Lotus Petal. I'm going to cast Lotus Petal from my graveyard. We are going to do that by getting rid of the Arcane Signet, the Deadly Rollick, and the Fellwar Stone. And what do we want to do with Lotus Petal? Nothing right now. We sort of just want to Entomb Reanimate. So we Entomb Reanimate. We're going to get rid of Orcish Bowmaster, Silence, and the Dual Caster Mage. It's fine. Or, sorry, the Hoarding Broodlord. All right, Will. We're down to 5 cards in our graveyard and no mana with a Reanimate. We're going to crack the Lotus Petal and cast Reanimate from our graveyard, targeting Celes. We are going to get rid of...
We had Dark Ritual in our graveyard, right?
Yeah, we did. We could have cast that prior.
Wouldn't it have been better to do Dark Ritual, Lotus Petal into Saw in Half? That would have filled up our graveyard more, right?
I guess either way, we're still getting there. But yes, I think technically, when we had the one black instead of casting the Lotus Petal from the grave, we could have done Dark Rid, but that would have been we would what with what I'm looking at with what I'm looking at right now, because this would be the same state as our trash if we did it that way. Will we would need to get rid of one of these 6 cards to cast Saw in Half.
Well, we wouldn't. We'd have 3 more cards in our graveyard because we wouldn't be recasting Entomb. So, well,
You would just Saw in Half twice on the copy.
yeah, because if we just
Okay,
do,
okay. I'm with you.
I think if we do that, I think if we do that, it gets us
Well,
a nothing grave.
the only thing is it's not repeatable.
It is.
Well, you would need to Lotus Petal Dark Rid as opposed to
Yeah,
just
so
Lotus Petal Reanimate.
we're getting rid of 9 cards every time we're doing it, but we're going to be dumping 9 cards into the graveyard, and then we're going to be dumping more and more and more because our hand size goes up every time.
Either one would work. I'm just gonna go the route we're going now because we're balls deep in it.
Okay.
just because we're balls deep in it. So for this, let's just do obviously the reanimate targeting Celes. We'll get rid of the. What do you want to get rid of these 5 cards? Will?
Everything. All right, so we're just dumping our hand every single time that we can. Oh no, you're saying for the escape.
Yeah, for the escape, we're gonna get rid of the. Okay.
So we don't have Bowmaster anymore, so dual caster is our win, I believe.
Yeah, is that really it? That's crazy.
Let's see, because I'm trying to think if we have another creature in our deck that could be a potential option
Doesn't
for a win.
Saw in Half and Dualcaster do the thing as well? I know this is really riveting, guys. I'm sorry. It's fine. We're gonna get rid of the Dark Ritual.
We need to keep Dualcaster.
In the Entomb and the Saw in Half. Okay. All right. Reanimate. This copy goes away. She comes into the play. We'll discard 1, 2, 3, and draw. I guess 4 with Savine's Reclamation.
Yeah, we discard everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so the way this shakes out, we should be able to do Lotus Petal from the trash. Lotus Petal Reanimate. Well, we don't have a way to kill her.
Well, she died to Legend Rule because of the token.
Oh, you want to let the token live? My bad. Yes.
Also, don't we have like a mana floating? Like a generic?
No, we used it
for the Solar? Oh, was that
Underworld
for
Breach? Underworld Breach.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we definitely used it though. We definitely used it.
Okay.
How many cards do we need to be getting rid of for this to work?
We need to get rid of 6 cards, which is why I was like, we don't have the cards in hand to do the initial line that we were going for, which is why I was saying the Saw in Half line was better.
Moving on.
Yeah. I do. We would have gotten there if we did the Saw in Half line, and to demonstrate the win, it's just we dig until we find Dualcaster.
Well, the Hitchhimer, whatever to go into Dualcaster. Right?
Yeah.
Right, so fill up our grave enough to Lotus Petal the mana for, I guess, like a Rite of Flame or Lotus Petal.
You got rid of that first hand when we had Savine's and a way to find Underworld Breach or any other card in our deck?
No, I want a little bit more explosive. This seems good, though, right here.
Yeah,
so
this is a turn... this is a Talisman on turn 1 with another Lance. It's 4 mana turn 2. That's our commander turn 2 if we want it.
Right.
Oh no, you got rid of that hand. You rolled into
no. I'm on Savine's Wreck, Imperial Seal, Entomb, Talisman of Indulgence, Mox Diamond, Command Tower, and Polluted Delta.
I was on the Gemstone hand.
Oh, that was okay. That was okay. This one's better. All right, let's rock it one more time and see where we get.
Okay.
Okay, this time no flubs, no flubbernutters. I think
Wolfsbane, we built Captain Howler. Captain Howler is pretty good.
Do you want to thin the deck or do you want to Command Tower? Will I guess like a Mox Diamond is technically a Command Tower. Which is the better play, Command Tower or Polluted Delta? That's a little trivia for you guys.
So let's see. It would probably be black-white off of Polluted Delta.
Our deck is predominantly the cards that are important are black and red.
I think thinning our deck is better because it gets stuff in grave.
I agree. Do you mind if I get Badlands though?
Savine's Reclamation is the only reason why I want to say no, but we already have a
Yeah.
white pip off of Diamond, so go for it.
Yeah. Also, I mean, we're getting the colors with the Indulgence. I see what you're saying. Let's do Batty though, and then we'll do Diamond. Drop this.
Wolfsbane, the only notable things for Captain Howler that we kind of picked up that we love is Captain Howler does not have to target your things. So if somebody else attacks, you can discard one card at a time to like Ghostly Pilfer or something and say, okay, your commander punched him. I'm going to increase that to 22 commander damage. He's dead, and I'm going to redraw my hand.
It's pretty nasty, dude.
It's gross. I love it.
What is the best card we can grab right now with Imperial Seal? Honestly, everything feels pretty bad.
Necro?
Yeah, we have 3 black pips.
Yeah.
Is this a value Necro and then Necro for game?
Yeah, I don't hate that.
Okay, shuffle.
It may not even be Necro for game the turn after, if I'm being honest, because we have to. We'll need our commander in play and the mana. Actually, nope. I say that, but we just need to hit the extra turn spell, and then we're good. That also works.
How deep do you want to go in this Necro?
With what we have right now, I say let's just go up to a clean 7. A little bit more than 7.
You want to do like 10 and then dip 3? Exile.
I like keeping our life total higher if we can help it, so that we can dig in deeper on the combo turn.
Okay.
So I'll say let's just go up to a clean 7.
Okay. So those are obviously exiled and placed in our hand afterwards. So we can't play this land drop for turn. But that's okay. It was a pretty bad land drop. We're going to take our next turn. Remember to skip your draw step. I mean, okay.
I mean, here I think we honestly could just
Dark Writ both Lotho and Celes out.
Do we have the colors to do both?
Oh no. Well, wait. That's 1 black on him, generic, and a black on her.
The issue is that we get both black pips, but then we need.
Oh no! If we start with Lotho, we can make the treasure, right? Wait up. So we do this for white, and then we do this for black.
But then we don't Dark Ritual.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't got shit. And this is a Gemstone Caverns, in case anyone's wondering.
I think it's just we play our commander and we discard everything.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of like to draw an Enlightened Tutor target. You want to just get like Underworld Breach on top?
Once again, do we have we don't have the pips to play Enlightened Tutor. See, I think it's just land, player, commander, discard our hand to exile, and then draw up. Because nothing in our hand matters.
No, nothing in our hand is gonna win us the game. Excuse me. Do you like Surveil lands in this deck? I do like Surveil lands in this deck. I think that they would make a great deal of sense. Just filling up our grave for Underworld Breach. Anything that can help us there. If
honestly, in the last game, a Surveil land probably would have won us or made that win significantly cleaner.
Yeah. It would have put us over the edge. We should have gotten there. Honestly, anytime I'm playing a new deck, and I'm not always going to see the best play lanes off the bat, so
it's also, we were playing it out instead of sitting down and doing the math, which is
right.
The folly of man.
Math, schmath. Just sell me the Tesla. All right, we're going to play this, right?
Shut up and take my money.
Dark Writ. We'll do it off that because we're going to have to take damage from that anyways. Boop. How much mana do I have left? 1 black.
You played a Gemstone as land for turn to play our commander, right?
No, I didn't, because I just want to draw into a better land.
Well, we are drawing. Yeah, go for it.
Exile. Oh, wait. One of our you discard a card. So this
If they
would
go
go.
to graveyard, then they go to exile after, but nothing in our hand really matters.
Well, the Dark Root goes to graveyard. Everything else goes to
Correct.
exile. Yeah, yeah. So I'm sorry. Wait, this is triple black. Triple black. 2 black goes to her. White and red, and then we've got 1 black floating. We're gonna put our Lotho.
Oh yeah, somebody brought up the best thing we could have Imperial sealed was an animate enchantment, and we could have entombed Abdel and gone for an Abdel line. The only issue is we would have gotten infinite red and infinite black to replay our commander, and then we could have done something there. But that's infinite 1/1s and then nothing else.
Infinite big one once though, right?
No. Our commander wouldn't have been in play yet. It would have just been infinite 1/1s.
So we go up to 7 with that. I'm gonna play and crack the Windswept Heath. We can go for our white red now. White black. What do you want? White red or white black?
World peace.
Yeah, I know. Don't we all? Don't we fucking all will? Can you stop giving obvious answers?
What are you, Miss America?
All right, man. We've got a floating black. Don't forget a floating black. We could put Orzhov Signet down. We could put an Underworld Breach. This would be awful. This would be the worst breach. If we did Underworld Breach, though, are we able to win with Necropotence on the stack? No.
I mean, yes, but
no. How deep are we? 5 deep? I will track our life here. I'm sorry. I've lost 1 to that, 6 total. Let's just say 7. I've lost 7 life. We're at 33 life.
So we lost I think we lost like 4 to Necro, 2 to Fetches, 2 to Talisman.
I think we were at 2 cards in hand. I think we went 5.
Were we? Oh yeah. Then never mind.
I just said 7.
Okay. Good enough. We're gonna be very like limited with how dig we deep with Necro, because we're gonna assume we got punched a bit. Even if we go 20 on Necro on the next turn, I think we get there.
Right. So what do you want to do with a remaining mana? Just drop Orzhov Signet? Pray.
Do we have mana remaining to Orzhov?
Yeah, I got a black floating.
Oh yeah, then sure. Just go for Orzhov.
I mean, the other thing is we can hold a Source of Plowshare, but let's be a little greedy bitch and do that instead.
We also have a setup for the win in hand with freaking dragon.
Yeah, let's
World Forger.
Go up 2. I'll lose 2 life. Oh shit! Final Fortune, dude. And Animate dead. All right, Will.
Man, we don't even need to do the Necropotence thing.
Well, let's do it anyways.
We could just straight up go for the World Grudger thing.
All right, so Will, this is what we've got. Should we have tried to pull into a different land, or a land drop, I should say?
No, I think we're happy with what we got.
Okay.
All right. So we could just demonstrate.
Sorry, I'm way off camera. Hi.
We could just demonstrate like some kind of weird line where we try to use our commander to discard World Gorger and do the thing. But let's go for the fun Necro thing.
We would kind of need a flicker, though, right? We need to flicker our commander.
Yeah, or like kill our commander and replay our commander, which we theoretically could do. But let's go for the Necro. Let's pay 20, because I think we honestly could get there with 20.
All right. So we'll pay 20 life to exile 20 cards. I'm just going to place them on the field here. Why is my cursor showing? It shouldn't be showing. Let me fix this. Capture cursor. Okay, yeah. Not anymore. Okay. So I'll just put them off to the side, and then we can sort of work through everything as we go to discard.
Well, we put them all into our hand, and we're winning on end step before cleanup.
Well, are we trying to drop this breach right now?
I don't think we need breach. Just 20 cards to hand.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1 ephemerate. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, that is probably enough.
It's pretty damn good. There's a lot of rocks here. We don't really win at instant speed like that, though, do we?
We can. We do indeed have an instant speed win.
Oh, the Gorger?
It's Bowmaster stuff. And was that 20?
Yeah, that's 20, man. Because we had 7.
From here, we can either just take an extra turn, discard hand size, and then like work from there. But
Our Necropotence is going to exile those things if we do that, though.
yeah, we can try to get rid of our Necropotence in response, but I want to see if we can just send it. Ephemerate and discard... Do we want to keep anything in hand?
The rebuild stuff, if anything. But
yeah, whatever you think would be like safe. Probably is breach. Breach is not worth keeping. Probably like the One Ring is the thing that we keep as a backup.
breach is not worth saving.
Because we're exiling a crap ton of stuff here if we don't do it. So we're not gonna.
No, let's fucking let's just go balls. Let's just do it. Let's just go balls deep.
Yeah, let's just full send it. So yeah, Ephemerate, Flicker our commander, discard everything. These are going to the graveyard. These are not going to exile because there's a triggered ability.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
It says your hand size on the top right there, like right above your hand.
What are you talking about?
It says like hide hand, and it says hand 26.
Yeah. Oh, was it? It was 26 total, right?
Yeah, it's 20. It was 26 before, but I think you put like 2 in graveyard before that.
I'm just putting them all in the grave right now.
Sorry, it's a 27 because we had 7 cards in hand and we went up by 20.
Yeah, but we had to cast Ephemerate.
Yep. What was it then? That's okay.
Yeah, so 26 total. We're gonna go up to 27. We're gonna go up to 27 here.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 triggers, and we're gonna do obviously Celes before Necropotence.
Yep. So well, we draw the cards off Celes before Necropotence, no matter what. So we draw our 27.
Yeah, these aren't individual, right? We need to take them all at once.
Yeah, we get them all at once.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that Vampiric Tutor. Okay, we got a Flicker of Fate, excuse me, Cloud Shift. And do we have Necropotence? Necromancy, excuse me?
We got Necromancy, which means we are now going to have infinite mana.
Yeah. I guess, can we put Silence on the stack first? Let's try that. Let's do this. We'll do filter this into the Signet generic for the Orzhov, and then we'll do Silence, holding a black. Silence, good.
Yep. We also have a Simian Spirit Guide, it looks like, in hand if you want to use that for any form of mana.
100%. If it were to go towards like a Pyroblast or something. Damn, no Pyro. No REB. Sorry, I'm just looking through our hands. Kind of a big hand.
I see our line. From here, we're going to Necromancy.
We still have it. Yeah.
We're going to Necromancy World Gorger, and we're just going to float infinite triggers off of our commander, but never actually resolve any of them. Then we are going to get infinite mana by tapping our lands over and over and over again with World Gorger. Then we are going to, let's say, Tainted Pact, or we can literally let our command. We'll say Tainted Pact. Tainted Pact, finding Orcish Bowmaster. In between World Gorger triggers, we play Orcish Bowmaster. Now it's getting flickered with everything. Game.
Right. So the Mox Diamond will have to go away. These lands come back, though, and then the rocks come back and Celes comes back. So like Will was saying, this would get... does this just get... does this read discard? You may discard a land if you do put Mox Diamond to the battlefield. If you don't, put it into its own script. No.
We could keep it around for a little bit, but why keep extra mana for infinite mana?
No, it's fine, yeah. Because we have all of our colors here, so we're good between the Plateau and the Badlands. We'll make infinite of every color, and then we have the infinite triggers and Celes. We're not... We can elect not... That's the other good thing. We're never going to, like, kill ourselves with Celes because we could just not do the thing.
Well, we're always drawing one off of Celes, but the thing is, we're not going to resolve any of these because we're just going to have the World Gorger loop take priority.
Oh, that is awkward. Yeah. Then draw that many cards +1. You're right about that. So I guess you could...
Here's the funny thing. We could draw our entire deck right now with Celes, and then on the last draw, put Celes in the command zone.
That's a clean way to do it.
Yeah.
Wait. Why don't we just do that to get the Orcish Bowmaster?
Yeah. There you go.
Sure. What if it's the last one?
It doesn't matter, but that's funny if it was.
Yeah. we're just trying to find Orcish Bowmaster. We have Dualcaster Mage, but we can't win with him right now. There's Orcish Bowmaster.
I mean, we could. We just use Saw in half.
Yeah. So all of this, in case you want to just refresh World Gorger loops for everyone, just
For those who don't know, World Gorger Dragon enters as this enters the battle, or when this enters the battlefield, exile all other permanents you control.
apart
When
from
this
him.
leaves the battlefield, return all permanents exiled by this. So, what happens is with Necromancy, Necromancy says when this becomes unattached to the attached creature, sacrifice the attached creature. When this enters the battlefield, or as you're casting this, target a creature in your graveyard, then reanimate that creature, change the wording of this card to enchant creature, and then enchant the creature with this spell. So what's happening is Necromancy is bringing back World Gorger and attaching to it. World Gorger is getting rid of everything, including Necromancy. Necromancy is killing World Gorger because it left.
Mhm.
Because World Gorger left, it returns Necromancy, which returns World Gorger, getting
Right.
rid of Necromancy, getting rid of World Gorger,
So-
return, exile.
And this
return.
is exactly like Leonin Relic Warder, except it's targeting. It's not targeting.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It hits everything, right? So the interval where you can tap your lands for mana is once your Necromancy leaves, it gets rid of the World Gorger because it's no longer there, and then the World Gorger goes to your trash. Everything comes back to include the Necromancy. When the Necromancy is on the stack, that's when you can tap for mana, right? And do anything else you want to do. So this is also important for your opponents. Right? So like we're going to want to make sure that, that silence did go off. Or just try to protect ourselves before we do this, because the other thing that can happen is people kill the World Gorger in response to all of this, and then that trigger will resolve before all your shit comes back. So all your shit would just get exiled, right? That's
all of the stuff that did not get exiled is going to get returned. Then
Right.
World Gorger ETB resolves, exiling all your stuff forever.
It's the worst. It's actually the worst. So we're going to win the game. We're going to win the game with Orcish Bowmaster. How? When it ETBs and whenever an opponent... When it ETBs, deal 1 damage to any target, then amass 1.
Which is going to get exiled World Gorger, which is funny.
So good.
The other alternative instant speed win that we have, let's say we, for some reason, couldn't use World Gorger to flicker Orcish Bowmaster, we can use Dualcaster Mage and Saw in Half. Each Dualcaster Mage is going to make each Saw in Half gets 2 Dualcaster Mages, which each copy Saw in Half, which give us double the Dualcasters and double the Dualcasters. Eventually, we just go, okay, in response to copies, we play Orcish Bowmaster. Copies resolve with our infinite copies of Saw in Half on the stack. Copy Orcish Bowmaster 2 billion times. That's the other
Right.
instant speed win that we have.
There is a higher mana requisite, right, for that. But
Correct.
yeah, right, which would be... I'm sorry, Dualcaster Mage is 3 mana. Your Saw in Half is also 3 mana, and Orcish Bowmaster is 2 mana. So that is 8 mana total. So with the rituals, hopefully you get there a little bit easier. Your Balan's Tombs, all that stuff.
But yeah, TLDR, got there.
Is Abdel Adrian, by the way, he was also in our hand. We could also do it this way. Do you want to explain that loop? I mean, it's the same.
Abdel's the same as World Gorger. He's just exile any number of non-land permanents you control and make a 1/1 for everything exiled this way. Exile them until he leaves the battlefield.
It's all attached. It's safer, basically.
Yeah, because instead of World Gorger, which is ETB, exile everything, LTB, return everything, Abdel is exile everything until he leaves the battlefield and make 1.
Very nice. So it's good.
It's good.
I like it. I like what we did there. It's weird using World Gorger. But I understand.
I think you mean fantastic. The World Gorger flex.
All right, Will. Celes.
Works. It is working as intended.
Full thoughts though. Full thoughts. What would you change? What would you recommend the other route? Is it better? So I know, at least off the bat, I know a lot of you guys were interested in doing Persist, and I still think that there's a home for Persist here. I do think that it's just as valid. Like I would run a low Persist curve run a low mana curve and maybe like add Nas to your persist lines. It's just important to note that like it is kind of costly to do all of that. It's kind of costly to do all of this, to be frank, right? 3 pips is a lot to do. Not
I
gonna lie
do
about that.
I do think the one change I make to our version of the deck to make it significantly better, take out the One Ring, add Adnaz. Because I feel like Adnaz is just basically going to do the same thing that we just did with Necro, and I feel like that's
Yeah,
really good.
I think for the control stacks beat list, the One Ring's fantastic. Like if you're slow rolling, like crush them, gradual draw, you'll be fine. I think that would make a lot more sense. I agree with you. I think that the One Ring is really good in instances where you are able to leverage it along with other artifacts to storm, or more generally speaking, it's just a value piece, right? So I do agree. I think Adnals can come in. As a matter of fact, I might change it now just as we're here so that we can have a somewhat finalized list. And I don't hate the idea of just rocking the persist lines. I also okay, so what are the best lines of combos to use? Should we be using persist with Abdel Worldgorger, or should we be doing dual caster like what we're doing now with our flicker effects?
For our version that we have built, I like this setup we have of like either sorcery speed just do dual caster things or instant speed do orcish bowmaster things. I like that setup for right now because I don't see a world where we're regularly going to be throwing out orcish bowmaster as just a tempo tool. I think we're
Uh,
probably saving it as a combo piece a lot of the time.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that either. Obviously, like if someone spits out a wheel, teach them why they shouldn't just do that when you're holding 2 mana. But yeah, I think that this list is really cool. I feel like we could spend another 2 hours just building another variant. Honestly, a couple
A
other
couple of
variants.
variants, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that honestly, we probably could churn out like 4 different variants because I gave the 4 examples that I thought of like, oh, just do turbo flicker stuff, which is what we did, or do Mardu control where we're trying to get to the Abdel line as quickly as possible,
Hmm.
or do persist, like just straight up play Gev but in Mardu, or stacks because if you're reanimating things here and there you get big beady guys, and then if you need to close fast reanimate several things,
Hmm.
get several guys, or do one of the reanimate loops with persist or Abdel or something, and then make all of your stacks guys into massive beaters and win. So
Hmm.
those are just 4 concepts off the top of my head. There's probably other variants that people could come up with.
Yeah, and I would love to see them for sure. God, I wish Lesser Masticore worked on any target. I gotta
It would
say.
be so broken if it was an if that would be like the new ballista if it actually
Hmm.
could hit anything.
Yeah, but obviously that would be too good because that would give us an excuse to use Ashnod's Altar as well. I think if you're gonna go the self-sacking route, what are the best cards you could play? Probably the Grinding Station if you're on Lesser Masticore. But Blasting Station, Goblin Bombardment was mentioned earlier, Murderous Redcap, Lesser Masticore, and the Putrid Imp are all
Putrid Goblin,
valid. Putrid Goblin, excuse me. Imp is the dredge.
the dredge, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, I kind of just want to. I keep on wanting to tackle this. That was sort of the issue with the list, like when we were approaching this, and that's why it's called like the combo deck. Is that it kind of just gets to do everything in Mardu, and it does them all really well. So I'm curious to know if you guys have your own variation of Celes. I'd love to see it. If there are ways to improve upon the build we worked on today, feel free to pitch those in the comment section below. But otherwise, I might get some sleep. Will, I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm also gonna get some sleep.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. We'll see. Say hi to my wife first. But outside of that, sleep sounds good. I really like the deck though. I really do. I still think I like the other girl we built just a little bit more. The infect build. I'm not gonna lie, that was really fun.
Name another deck that lets you play Infect in CDH in a viable way.
Y'shtola Storm. Y'shtola Infect Storm? No, there's not.
Is breaking Nico kneecaps.
Yeah, dude. Oh wait, I'm now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just gonna add Y'shtola. At the time when we built the list, Aminatu as a stand-in, so Knight's Blessed. We're gonna add her. We're gonna add her as our commander for that list.
Emmett was already in when we built Emmett, right?
Correct. Yeah, Emmett was already in. Dude, your solo is so sick. Damn it. I'm really struggling.
Build the deck. You liked it.
I really do. I don't know which one I like more. I honestly think I like this more than. Okay, sorry. This is an aside. We've done a handful of Final Fantasy commanders at this point, 3 of which we believe can be bracket 5, if not bracket 4. Which is your favorite so far?
I think Y'shtola has the most interesting and fun play lines. I think Emmett is the most like generically good direct commander, and I think that Celes is probably the fastest out of the 3.
She biting off more than she can chew.
I mean, it's pretty much just a deck that says I want to do Turbo Adnaz or Turbo Necro stuff, and I can find both of them pretty easily. I feel like that's what the deck is inevitably going to get whittled down into.
Right. Hyper focusing those lines,
which is the Mardu thing to do. So
yeah. No, I think Y'shtola is easily my favorite. If you didn't watch the gameplay for that, it's so dumb. It's just in the best possible way. It's like it's just, I don't know. I've never done anything in CDH quite like it. I think that's why.
Turns out just saying I'm going to cast 5 spells to deal 10 infect damage wins.
Is that cool? Is that good with everyone? Tainted Strike. Don't forget, Tainted Strike.
Gives 1 attack.
Gives 1 power. Oh, man. Fuck that up. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one. We kind of just ran right over Ether Drift, and I don't mean to be punny when I say that. We didn't really touch anything from there, but I did want to do Ketramos, which is someone on stream brought up. So maybe we go back to Ketramos.
Yeah, we got Ketramos and got Hashiton. Those are probably the 2 that people are going to be
beaten to death, I'm sure, at this point.
Yeah.
Ketramos seems interesting. Or we could do the Moogle. We could do the Moogle, Will. You want to do the Group Hug Mono White Moogle?
Which one is Moogle?
The Moogle. The Moogle, Will.
Is it the pig from Final
Stiltskin. Stiltskin. The Moogle.
Is that the Final Fantasy one, or is that the Aether Drift?
Oh, he's a Final Fantasy one.
Okay, I'm like, I thought we were still talking about Aether Drift. I'm like, I don't recognize Moogle.
No, I'm suggesting, like, do we go back to Aether Drift, or are we just done with Aether Drift? You guys can let us know. But pay 2, target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control if they do draw a card. He's 1 white, 1/2 body. How about 3-piece combo of High Potion, Ether, and Phoenix Pinion for 444 gil? Dude, sold. Loving everything about this set so far. I know it's not everyone's jam, but I'm enjoying it. Guys, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for joining us. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Do you like my my new Dawn? I just kept them all in the wrapper. So I'm doing these pre-releases. I want to see if people will let me use this as my Dawn, like unsleeved. Technically sleeved, right? these little sleeves they come in, that's technically sleeved. I should be able to play with these.
The 3 CDH the Aether Drift decks that we haven't built are Loot, Ketramos, and Hashiton.